evening's meeting to order. It is the regular city council meeting for the city of Algonac, and it's Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Douglas.
Here.
Councilman Blair.
Here.
Councilman Gillis.
Here.
Councilman Martin.
Here.
Councilman Scarback.
Here.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Here. I believe Mrs. Harris will be coming in momentarily. Okay. At this time, will everyone please take a moment of silent prayer? Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved. Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have an agenda. Tonight we have one presentation. It is on the Algonac Dog Park and Memorial Pavers Program. Mrs. Gerstenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. A quick update on where we are at with our City of Algonac Dog Park. So, why do we have a dog park? The benefits of having a dog park, it brings the community closer. It gives our dogs a bit of freedom. A dog park reduces troublesome behavior, and people are happy and healthy. Dog owners tend to exercise more and feel less stressed. So a little history of the dog park. The contract for engineering was awarded in June of 2017. The project was completed the following year, and we had a ribbon cutting in May of 2018. And now in June of 2022, we awarded a contract to install brick pavers. Here's a picture of the 2018 dog park ribbon cutting. And this is the Memorial Brick Paver Program for 2022. You can create a loving legacy for your pets. All purchases help keep the park clean, safe, and fun. You can get 4x8 pavers for $75, 12x12 pavers for $150, and the order forms are available on the city website and at City Hall. They will also be available on the fence at the dog park very shortly. We just had the new box delivered from Amazon the other day. This is what the order forms look like. Once again, available on the website at City Hall and at the dog park.
Where's the dog park?
The dog park is located.
Point of order.
Usually, we don't have comments from the audience during a meeting, except during public comments, but I will answer. It's at the Lions Field.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we had.
So
Thank
thank
you.
you, Mayor Stoneburner. So that's just an update on the Memorial Paver Program. The new pavers are installed right now, and we are taking orders for the Memorial Brick Paver Program.
Thank you very much. All right, at this time, it's time for public comment. Please keep in mind, you have 5 minutes to speak. State your name, your address, and as I said, you have 5 minutes to speak. Council will not engage in dialogue with you, but we do listen very carefully. Anyone like to speak?
My name is Greg Loggins. How much is this dog park? How much did it cost?
We'll get you the form after the meeting if you'd like. Oh, we'll get you the whole form. We'll
Oh,
give
you can't tell me how much this dog park costs?
We
No, I don't care
we
about
don't
the-
dialogue during the public
Oh,
comments.
Okay.
We can mention it in closing statements.
Yeah, we can say it in closing statement, that's correct.
Good evening, Bernie Ferris, 669 Townsend Court. Well, tonight, I'd like to give a special thanks to Councilman Dave Starbeck for his time and contribution to the city of Algonac. You've been a great asset, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, next week, Tuesday, November 8th, is election day. The polls open up from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. I hope every citizen does their civic duty, and every vote counts. Let me elaborate on this. Your vote has even more power locally than it does at the federal level. You really could be the deciding factor when it comes to important issues that affect you, your family, and your neighbors. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, Doug Veal, 505 Lathrop in Elginak here. Basically, I'm here I'm the spokesman for a number of the Lathrop neighbors, a few cop-ups from last night. We're concerned about the storm drains, and Denise sent me some good information today, and I've been in contact with Joe Vernier, but it's been going on for almost 3 years now, and, you know, we've had a huge sinkhole that's been filled in multiple times. The latest solution, and Denise gave me the name of the engineer to talk to him and get more specific, but the latest solution, the way I understand it, is not to replace the drain going out to the bay, is just to put in kind of a French drain, which would end up in front of my house to collect all the water there. And my lot as it is often a sponge after heavy rain. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense that it's going to actually do the job we need it to do. And we're kind of, you know, growing increasingly frustrated with the whole process because, you know, kind of waiting for this site studies and all these things, and we thought it was going out to bid to actually do the job to replace the drain. But now it looks like we're looking at a Band-Aid fix, in my opinion. I will talk to the engineer to try to understand it, and my neighbors, they want to understand it better too. If it's a good fix, I'd be happy with it, but just, you know, the common sense, my common sense says it's not gonna work, because we're on a point, we're contained by seawall, and we're gonna be dumping all that water basically from the road into my lot and some of my neighboring lots there. And I just think it's gonna make a bad situation worse. So, want to go on record with that. I hope to get some decent answers for engineering, but I think we really need to take a hard look at doing it right the first time. At the same time, our street is a mess there, so if the project requires street repair, you know, I know it's you know, a big dollar ticket, I'm not saying it's not, but I think it should be looked at seriously and budgeted to do the whole thing and hopefully be done with it once and for all, so. Okay, I guess that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mrs. Gerstenberg, could you fill us in on what's happening at Lathrop so that council knows all the steps that have been taken and what we're looking at?
Sure, thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. So I did correspondence with Mr. Veal today. It is a very unique problem being on an island with the high water that we have had, high water tables surrounding all of those properties. It's all saturated with water. We did hire Deutsch in November of 2021 to start cameraing, not only that Lathrop area, but the entire city. They could not start until spring, obviously because of the weather. On July 5th, the city council approved a proposal for engineering services for the Lathrop storm sewer issue. Topo survey was completed in late August. The pavement cores and soil borings were completed in September, and we met with the engineers on site on September 7th. A big problem out there is that the outlet pipes they're completely buried in the riverbed and they're completely full of water. So they originally thought that they could replace the pipes. They don't think that that is a good solution, so they're looking at putting in some kind, it's called a French drain or a leaching basin to hold the water. The final solution hasn't been decided yet. I've been in touch with the engineer, we are working on it. Another problem that we're running into is there's a concrete shortage and it's not a particularly big job. And we're having a hard time finding somebody that can give them costs and estimates for the job. So we are working on it. We do know that it is a problem, and it's definitely on our radar, and we will get to the information as soon as we can.
Dave DeVerney, 507 Lathrop. I've been in talking about the problems with Lathrop Street and the Point for a long time. You know, as you ford the bridge at the Point, one of the neighbors there filled in their yard, and now we have we threw a Band-Aid on that too. We put a little asphalt over it, tried to bring the road up a little bit so that the road was higher than the yards. But that was, that issue was from people filling their yards. I don't know if you need a permit to do that or whatever, but people are just going in them areas and filling their yards. Now they're letting all the water go onto the roads. So, you know, if you live in that neighborhood, you can never get in or out with a nice car without having to drive through puddles. We had the same thing happen down on Lathrop Street. A gentleman filled in his yard big time, and all that water went onto the road too. And, he did fix the problem himself. He put in a nice drain system like you guys should do, and that takes all the water off of the road. The other thing is, if we're putting in a French drain and we get a whole bunch of rain, is that water gonna set in the road for days waiting for it to dissipate into the Doug's yard? And my yard over there? It don't seem like a good fix for the problem. And, I don't know, other things, there's I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the road is sinking before the bridge on that Lathrop side of it, or the Point Duchesne side. And, the neighborhood's full of trailers, and, we have a whole bunch of, things that shouldn't be let go, cars without license plates, trailers that have been on the road for years. I think we're supposed to have somebody looking for that, like blight people out looking at that, but, I mean, stuff's sitting there for years like that.
Thank you.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
I'd just like to mention that, Mr. DeVerney, spoke with me about the land disturbing problem a while ago of people filling their lots without getting the proper permits, and as a result of his comments, the council did approve a new land disturbing permit that is now required when people put too much fill in their lots. So that was an idea that came to us from Mr. DeVerney.
We thank him for that.
Gordon Rack, 503 Lathrop. I came into your office, into these offices, about 2 years ago, and complained about the road condition and the sewers. I believe there's 3 sewers? Is that? It's not just 1 sewer, it's 3 sewers. And when I moved here 6 years ago, we had sewers. And as I want to stay here for a number of more years, I want a sewer. I don't want anything more, I don't want anything less. Just give me what I had when I moved here, and what we've had for 20-some years. That's a sewer. Not a French drain, not an Italian drain, not a German drain, a sewer, okay? And when I came in here a couple of years, and it's been over 3 years, I think we're going,
Yeah, it's
over 3. When I came in here to complain, I was accused of being an elitist by the administration, someone in your administration. Now, I can assure you that none of the people that live on Lathrop are elitists, okay? Number 2, if we were elitists, this wouldn't be going on for 3 years. We'd have attorneys involved, and this would be rectified. That's all I got to say.
Ray Loggins again, 450 Lathrop. Going to your point, you mentioned the high water. Well, the problem in front of my house has been going on since we had low water. Matter of fact, I talked to Joe, who's on the board, or on fixing the road, and they came out and saw cut our road. Because we had a big hole in it, like a sinkhole that you'd find in Florida. And what's gonna happen is, it's gonna happen again, and you're gonna have a kid riding his bike at night, or somebody walking, they're gonna fall in the hole. We have a new neighbor next door, just bought a lot, and be building a home. My storm drain runs right to his seawall, and it's only a short distance of maybe 34 feet, 50 feet at the most. It's plugged, it's not even draining, it's plugged and it's shot. And, when he was buying that lot, I told him to get a hold of you guys and have it filled in, so he doesn't get sued. And you guys did come out there and fill it with stone, but it doesn't drain. They came out and did that survey, whoever you had, and it's completely plugged. And that's the one in front of my home, which is 450 Latham. There is no drainage. It's completely blocked. And the road is caving in on top of it, and you can visually go there and see you guys' saw cut, because you were gonna replace it probably about 4 or 5 years ago, before the high water. So this is an ongoing problem that we've had on our road for quite some time, and, you guys had paid 12 grand or something, I think, this year for engineering. So just to pay 12 grand for an engineering firm to come out just to put some asphalt on it, that seems like a waste of money to me. Let's fix it right. Let's do it right this time. Okay? All right.
Anyone else?
Mine's quick, it's just quick. I see that tonight on the agenda in the city manager's, well, in the city manager report.
Sorry, your name, please?
I'm sorry, Friday, 7 Smith. That, the spark grant was October 24th. And I'm not asking you guys, maybe she can elaborate during the city manager report, if there was any kind of match or anything that was put in with the application. That's it. That's it.
Ed Tarakian, 511 Lathrop, and my adjacent lot is adjacent to Doug's. And as he said, we have serious problems back there. We have some erosion next to our corner seawall too that's affected by this high groundwater in those 2 lots. And I don't know if you all understand what a French drain is, but it's a basin that they fill with gravel and it retains water. We can't retain that water. It's a mess. Like he says, we're sloshing around in there. The water table back there is too high. We need to get that plumbing repaired, and that's why there's 10 of us here to continue to reiterate this. We're dealing with this, and you know, I've been there for 24 years, and we've dealt with this for a long time. I really would like to see something happen with this. So.
Thank you.
Can I go up one more?
But let's wait until everybody else. Do we need to vote to have someone else come back up, or are we able to have them come back up?
Yeah, it's like I said, everybody's done.
Just want to state
As long as
that.
everybody's done.
That's Robert's rules, that's Robert's rules.
Typically, you only
Fine.
can speak, but if you'd like to stay afterwards, we'd love to talk with you. Anyone else?
Ed Carter, 806 Townsend Crescent. Good evening, council.
Please, not talking, no talking.
Great event last night in the community. It was so made me proud to be part of Algonac, to see the kids and all the different people having a good time, and of course our fire department showing like usual. And on a more serious note, I'd like to thank, this being the last meeting of this council, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the efforts that you've put in these last 2 years. And I know that you've put in a lot of effort beyond what we see as the public. And being this your last meeting, thank you for what you've done, Councilman Skarvik. You've shown as a light inside and outside the council, bringing people to the community through your events, and you live in big shoes to fill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Anyone else? Seeing no one, we'll go on with the meeting. City managers report. Mrs. Kirstenberg?
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. So once again, the leaf vacuum will be out on the 7th, which is Monday, through the 23rd, and the last Ontario yard waste pickup will be Friday, November 25th, which is the day after Thanksgiving. An update on the Algonac Elementary School. To date, no one has purchased the school. On November 14th, there is a Bridge to Bay trail signage and wayfinding kickoff project meeting to talk about the community's sign and kiosk needs. timing, rules, any matching costs that may be required to install this proposed new signage that they're talking about. As for the Spark grants, the application opened up on October 24th. It is due on December 19th. So we have obviously started working on the application. First application that we are working on is for the pool. There was a county meeting last Thursday. There was a meeting with the state on Friday. We have been putting out requests for letters of support, and we have been getting them back from different community members. And I'd like to mention that Gail Anthony dropped off 40 letters of support for the swimming pool from the Rolling Milk community. So I'd like to thank Gail very, very much. I am sure that every single one of those letters will help us as we seek grant funding for the new pool at Lions Field.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we're being asked to approve our consent agenda. At tonight's meeting, our consent agenda consists of our regular city council meeting minutes from October 18th, 2022. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we approved our consent agenda. We have no unfinished business. So we'll get right into our new business. And first up, we're being asked to approve the first amendment to the ambulance services agreement between the city of Algonac and Tri-Hospital EMS. The city of Algonac entered into an agreement for ambulance services with Tri-Hospital EMS in May of 2013. It is now necessary to amend the 2013 agreement because of the first countywide ambulance services millage approved in August of 2022 by the St. Clair County voters. We received the proposed amendment to the current ambulance service contract. This amendment only amends section 3 that is about compensation for services, St. Clair County ambulance services millage. Algonac will be required for the duration of the millage to annually pay Tri-Hospital EMS all funds received from St. Clair County for the dedicated ambulance millage. This amendment does not require any additional funds beyond those provided to Algonac as part of the ambulance millage. The estimated annual funding that Algonac will receive from the millage is $57,000. This agreement is for 4 years. As of the time that this was written, we had 11 communities that had already approved their agreement to amend the agreement. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the first amendment to the ambulance services agreement between the city of Algonac and Tri-Hospital Emergency Medical Services Corporation, and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement on behalf of the city.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns?
I just for clarification, this is, the voters approved the proposal at in the August primary, and this is just the money raised from the August primary, and that was a part of the voter approved proposal, correct?
Is that correct, Mrs. Gerstenberg? That's my understanding as well.
Yes, Mayor Stone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Ken Cummings is waiting to answer questions. If we have any questions, he's listening to talk. All right.
Did we save money on that?
You're
Oh, I
not able to
can't,
speak during the meeting, I'm sorry.
Okay, zip it.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Bendis.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarback.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we're being asked to approve the purchase of the DPW dump truck. This purchase will replace the 1994 dump truck that was sold on April 2020. The city is a member of My Deal, which is, many of you may recall that this is an extended purchasing program that allows Michigan cities, townships, villages, counties, school districts, universities, community colleges, and nonprofit hospitals to use state contracts to buy goods and services. Quotes were requested from various dealers. Signature Ford, who is a member of the My Deal program, was the only response received. The total amount, including the dump snowplow and lighting, comes to $125,453. In our 22-23 budget, we included $60,000 for the new truck. It is proposed that the balance, $65,500, be budgeted in our next fiscal year, 23-24, as Ford cannot provide an estimated delivery date and does not guarantee it will be here in 2023. As there is not only a worldwide shortage of chassis and chassis components, but also global raw material and labor shortages. These shortages are expected to continue well into 2024. No payment is due until the vehicle is delivered. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2023 F600 dump truck from Signature Ford in the amount of $125,453.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? I know I read in the supporting information is that the dump part of this is stainless steel, so we don't have to worry about it rusting, which is a nice thing.
Especially with all the salt.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Gillis,
Yes.
Councilman Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we're being asked to approve an emergency water line repair. On October 11th, 2022, the property owner at 518 Ruskin hired a contractor to replace the driveway approach. During the removal of the drive, the contractor struck a water main, causing damage. DPW contacted Duluth Construction to perform an emergency repair to the damaged section of water main. We received the invoice from the contractor for digging up and repairing the section of the water line that was damaged. DPW worked to fill and restore the repair. The property owner will receive an invoice for $5,913.66, which includes total fees for materials and labor incurred by the contractor in the city. Failure to pay will result in a tax lien on the property. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve payment to Deloitte Construction in the amount of $5,370.50 for the emergency water line repair at 518 Ruskin, and direct the treasurer to invoice property owner 518 Ruskin the total charges of $5,913.66.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? Roll call, please.
Councilman Gillis,
Yes.
Councilman Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet,
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Our fourth item is to approve the preliminary engineering services for Riverfront Park Boardwalk Enhancement Project. The state of Michigan, using federal funds, has created a new $65 million Spark grant program to help local communities across the state provide safe, accessible building recreation facilities. A total of $65 million ranging from a minimum of $100,000 to a maximum of $1 million will be distributed in 3 rounds. As we've said before, the first round will be awarded by the end of 2022, and that is for the total amount of $15 million. Round 2 is $25 million in the spring of 23, and the third round is $25 million in the summer of 23. The application for round 1 launched on October 24th and is due December 19th. Details on future application release dates and due dates have not been released yet. All projects must be completed by December 31st of 2026. The funds may be expended for activities such as, but not limited to, project review, planning, architecture and engineering services, construction, oversight, and compliance activities associated with state and federal requirements as applicable. Applications that address existing park infrastructure will be given priority. St. Clair County Parks and Recreation has been working with the state of Michigan in helping local communities prepare the grant application. The Algonac Community Outdoor Pool at Lions Field is a shovel-ready project that will be submitted for round 1. On September 6, 2022, City Council approved the required engineering to develop a cost estimate for the pedestrian pathway at Lions Field to be submitted for round 2. It is requested that City Council approve the required engineering to develop a cost estimate for replacement of the Riverfront Park Boardwalk and associated amenities to be submitted for round 3. The closer a shovel-ready project is, the more likely it will be funded. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal, preliminary engineering services for Riverfront Park Enhancement Project by Hubbell Ruth & Clark, whose address is 555 Hilditch Drive in Bloomfield Hills, in the amount of $24,200, and direct the city manager to sign the proposal on behalf of the city.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? This project is something that has been part of our 5-year plan. And I do know that during urban renewal, there are building materials, old tires, wires, all kinds of things that were left in the park area as fill. And we need to know the extent that the non-removal of those materials and how it affects the boardwalk. So we have no idea what we're looking at, what's underneath there.
Mayor Stillman?
Yes.
I'd like to add that, this grant application does not require a match, and there is no additional points given if you do provide a match.
Thank you.
Which is very unique to this particular grant program.
Usually you have to have some money. up
Skin in the
front.
game, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
If I could ask a question, is this an all or nothing, or can they say, we won't give you the full amount, but we'll give you this much?
Mrs. Gerstenberg?
Thank you, Mary Stoneburner, Mayor Pro Tem Bumpus. We are going to ask for all, but they have not said whether or not you can only get what you asked for, or if they will determine that you're entitled to a lower amount.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarback.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And our last item under new business, we're being asked to approve a fire department purchase for fire hose. Algonac, Ira Township, and Green City recently submitted quotes to purchase new fire hose. Discounted pricing was available by purchasing hose in bulk. Algonac is looking to purchase 800 feet of 4-inch supply hose with adapters and 950 feet with 1 3/4 hose. 3 quotes were received. We budgeted $6,055 in our 22-23 budget for this purchase. The estimated delivery is 6 months. Well-maintained fire hose has a reasonable service life of 25 years. It is recommended that we purchase from the lowest bidder, Apollo Fire Equipment. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the fire department's purchase of 800 feet of 4-inch supply hose with adapters and 950 feet of 1 3/4 hose from Apollo Fire Equipment, whose address is 12584 Lake Shore Drive, Romeo, Michigan, in the amount of $9,095.
Support. Comments, questions, concerns?
Mayor, I assume they're all the same quality hose?
I would assume so. Chief? Are these all the same quality hoses? Are they identical, or?
Yes, they are. We're looking to downsize from 5-inch to 4 for the weight, to make the longevity of the trucks last longer and less weight for the person home.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Thank you, Chief. I know we've always had mutual aid in place, but this is another way where communities are cooperating with one another, and it helps us fiscally as well, not just for the mutual aid when we have an emergency. And I think that's important that we reach out and do things like this to save money when we can. Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Councilman Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Scarbeck,
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Motion carried.
What are the next items, or the items for our next agenda?
Pardon me, Mayor.
Yes, oh, accounts payable, let's pay bills first. What do you think? I
Councilman
crossed
Scarbeck-
it off
Councilman
when we
Scarbeck's
did that
been
one.
made.
My last one ever.
Let's pay our bills. Can I have a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve accounts payable and payroll in the amount of $211,635.87 as presented.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? Roll call, please.
Councilman Scarbeck,
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now can we know the items on our next agenda?
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. We will have, ED annual memberships dues on the agenda, as well as welcoming a new business to the community. We have the Callisto Group, which is an IT company that is moving into 421 Michigan.
Thank you.
Could I ask to add a couple items, please? Okay, then I'll wait for comment. I'm sorry. Too eager.
Council comment. Mayor Pro Tem
Why don't we start with
Bembas.
Well, that's pretty cool, that's gonna be. Thank you, everybody from Lathrop, for coming to the meeting. Appreciate hearing from you. If you don't tell us, we don't always know, so thank you. I'd ask our, city manager to keep us updated, please, at the meetings. And if you don't mind to, you said, you know, you gave us, but sometimes it's hard for me to remember exact dates, but could you give us that update in writing that you gave before about how you've already met with the engineering company and they, you know, just so
Sure.
we have it on record. Somebody mentioned the dog park and how much it costs the citizens of Algonac. The dog park has been there for about 5 or 6 years now, and it costs the citizens $0 because, a lot of members on this council got together and raised the funds through grants, through, dinners, through, raffles, just through donations. So that was all volunteer money from the citizens of Algonac. Not one tax dollar went to that dog park, and I take a lot of pride in that dog park. And I had a lot of help from Mr. Gillis, as well as help from Mr. Scarbeck, Mr. Stoneburner, Mr. Blair, putting that together. And I just wanted to say, you know, nobody here wants to waste money on things, and we try our best to either get grants or to get volunteers or to get donations to get things like that done. That's one of the things I'm very proud that we've been able to do. All set.
Councilman Blair.
Good evening. My Lothrop neighbors, I apologize if I haven't been out to take a look at your issues, but Doug, I'd like to meet with you sometime this week. We can talk after the meeting. Set a day that I can come out and take some pictures. I'd like to walk the ground myself, so I can get back to our city manager with some accuracies on what we need to do about that. So, let's make that happen. I'd meet with all of you if you'd like, not a problem. If you wanna set that up as the liaison, I'll stop by anytime and have a conversation with you guys. Also, I'd like to comment about a little trunk or treat last night. Even due to the rain and what have you, I know we bought 400 bags of chips myself and went through it all, plus some candy, so it was a very good turnout. Rain regarding, didn't seem to bother anybody, the temperatures were right for it. We had a great fire out there. I don't think anybody got burned up or anything, did they, Joe? Wonderful, it's always good news. So that was, it's always a good time when we can get the citizens out and everybody can have some fun and enjoy what we have here, so that was definitely a good time. If you missed it, it's a shame, try to come to the next one, we have it every year. Besides that, weather's gonna start getting chilly. Let's try and get at least something for you guys before that happens, so. thanks for coming out and have a good night. And I'm sorry, before that, Jacob Scarbeck. It's been been good, working with you on the council. You've really added some flair to this council in regards to your thoughts and ingenuity about trying to move us forward. So I want to wish you the best in your endeavors. And thank you so very much.
Councilman Gillis.
I also would like to thank the residents of Lathrop for bringing this to our attention this evening. It did not go on deaf ears. I'm sure many of us will be asking questions. I agree with Councilman Blair. Great time last night at the, nobody even knows how long that bonfire's been going, but I've been told that back in the day, they used to throw old Chris Crafts on top of it. So that's been going for a long time. So it was a great time. I know we made close to 1,000 hot dogs. It was $9.60 and they were all gone. So I had 3 or 4 myself though. Councilman Scarbeck, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve with you up here. And I know you're not going anywhere, and I know you'll still be serving, no matter what seat you're, no matter where you're at, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Harris.
I want to apologize for being late. Thank everyone for coming. And Jake Scarbeck, it's been a pleasure working next to you these last 2 years, and I know you're not going anywhere, so we'll be seeing you around.
Councilman Martin.
Yes, I made use of the cleanup on Saturday with some old building materials that sat for a long time, and I want to thank the effort and help of the DPW workers. And Rocky was there and he helped, and the mayor was there to tell me where to go.
I was directing him. I was in charge of traffic control.
And Jake, thanks for your young man energy here at the table, working for the citizens of Algonac. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna go before you. All right. Neighbors on Lathrop, you'll see us. All right. And as I said before, we listen. We're just not able to comment. That's not the format that you use through Robert's Rules of Order. And but we'll be around. Find out what's going on, and not sure we can do anything more than just look and feel bad too. But we'll be there. Absolutely. Want to thank the Rotary, the fire department. I know Clay Township PD, all and the Scarbeck family. They all donated hot dogs for the kids, and want to thank all the workers and volunteers that helped wrap them. I learned a new way to wrap thanks to Mrs. Gerstenberg, but I like my old way. You know, it's faster. It was messier, but it's faster. We had a lot of volunteers there, and you're right, it has been there for years and years and years. In fact, the Rotary and the fire department, the faces have changed, but they have been there since, I remember in the 50s, late 50s, it was Rotary and fire department.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Yes.
Was the fire in
Yes,
black and
there
white?
was fire
Was-
then. You know.
Was the fire in black and white?
There was even wheels on the
Because
fire
everything I've ever
truck.
seen in the 50s was black and white. Was the fire black and white?
Yes, it was. At least in all the pictures I'm looking at. But that's a nice tradition, and it's morphed over time, but it's carried on, and I think those kind of traditions are good to have. I mean, we can share it with our kids, our grandkids, our new neighbors, and everything else, and it's wonderful. Jake Scarbeck, it's been an honor and a pleasure sitting next to you for the last 4 years. I love your ideas. Don't let them stop flowing out of that head. I'm glad he doesn't call me at 2 in the morning with them though. But thank you for all that you've done for our community, and I know you're not going anywhere, but I'm not gonna see you like this anymore, and we aren't, and it's gonna be different out here. And that young perspective, I think, did us well. Thank you very much. All right. Now, Councilman
Alright.
Scarbeck, you get the last words now.
All right, I wrote a little something. I always get off topic, so I thought today I would actually write something and just read it. I want to start by saying thank you. It's truly been an honor to serve our community and to work closely with all of you. Over the last 4 years, I believe we have all shared the same goal of making Algonac a safe and welcoming community for all the residents and the visitors. I believe this community will be great will have a great future as long as our community leaders continue to grow and work well together. When I made my decision to run for state rep, I wasn't making a decision to leave our community, I was trying to empower all our communities around us. Although I will no longer be a council member, I will continue to serve our community in one way or another, and I just want to say thank you to our residents, this council, the city administration, and to everybody for everything. I will forever be grateful, and there's a lot of people in this community that do a lot of great things, and one of them is in this room tonight. So Gail, I want to say thank you for everything you do. Everything you do, for all those letters, everything throughout the community. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
I misspoke. I'm gonna have one of the last words. For the dog park, I think you asked about how much the blocks were, or someone.
No, I asked for the
just
whole thing.
The whole
You gave me
thing.
the answer.
But if you're interested in blocks, it's 75 for the small, 150 for the large, so. And with that.
I think we're
Can
gonna.
I say one more thing?
Okay. Yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I know tonight's a little bittersweet moment for me, but this council is awesome. The council that's here, the people that might be coming in, who knows what's gonna happen, but what I have to say is get out and vote, right? No change, and here's my biggest thing, there's gonna be a lot of people that complain either way, whatever way an election goes. You can't bitch if you don't vote. So my biggest thing to this community is get out and vote, make your voice heard, or don't complain. But I know that's not gonna be my last thing, so can I make a motion to adjourn?
This is being taped, right?
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Did I hear somebody opposed? No. We're adjourned.